Hi there. So in this video, we are working on our color wheel, and we've done yellow to red. Now we're going to do from red to yellow. So I've got red right here. I'm going to go from red, violet to blue, and then to yellow. And I think we'll go rather quickly now because we know what we're doing. So now that we're going, so when we're at the primary colors, we mix those primary colors to do these analogous colors here. But when we go from red and then switch over, we don't want to have any yellow in it, because then it'll start kind of getting brown in the middle, which is lovely in many, many scenarios, but not in this scenario. So at this point, we want just pure, let's see, I'm going to put a little bit more water in here. Just so that they're wet when I need them. And we've got red, and we just want to add a little bit of blue, okay? So we've got red, and this is just red, and I'm just going to add a little bit of blue, and this is going to be red violet. It wants to be not violet and not red, so somewhere in the middle. If I put my paper towel under there, you might be able to see kind of what I'm mixing. Sometimes, depending on what you're mixing, I think I have a cat here. Yep. The cats are ever present in my working space. So sometimes when you are working, depending on the exact pigments, they might be very, very pure. They might feel like you can really get what you want, and other times you might really feel like you just can't get a very pure color. And that is the way it is. So this next one, I want to aim for violet. This is equal parts red and blue, okay? Or equal parts red violet and blue violet, which is basically the same thing. So let's get there. So I can kind of see it with my paper towel behind. A little blue. Let's go back for a little more red. Okay. So this is going to be my violet, and sometimes you can't quite see it until you put it on the paper. And if it looks totally wrong, that is okay. On my last one, I made a mistake on this one. Instead of putting yellow green here, I put it here. And so I let it dry and I painted over it. And I have more things that I can do to fix it, but you know, it's all about just if you knew how to do everything and you could do everything perfectly, then, you know, what's the point of being in a class? So I have some blue here that's drying out. I know I'm going to need a little bit of this blue at some point. So you'll see that sometimes I get extra colors in some of my colors, and that, to me, it doesn't bother me because I know where I'm going on the color wheel. In some situations, I might, like if it was yellow and I needed to make yellow green, I would be very careful that I didn't put something else in there, because yellow is a very weak pigment. It's very strong and bright, but it contaminates very, very easily. Okay, so I've got violet. Now I want to go to blue violet. So I want to make this little area not violet and not blue, but somewhere equally between the two. I think I might have it. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. And I find, oh, that's a beautiful color. I find color wheels to be, you know, they can be such a drag, but they also really help you find, making one helps you find colors that you hadn't thought of before, because you see them just in isolation and you're like, oh, wow, I never noticed that beautiful color before. So in blue, there really is not going to, we have a pretty pure blue here, and I want to find a blue that's visually not similar to my, that visually has no red in it. Neither of these have any red in them. I feel like this one's a little more purple. So at this point, I am going to need to go back to yellow. So you know what? I'm going to have a clean water and a dirty water, because I want to just go to blue, and then I want to be able to get a good yellow green at the end with some nice clean water. So I'm going to go next door, and I'm gonna see how, maybe I'll go here. Yeah, so this is gonna be my blue. On this one, when I got to blue, I added a little bit of this, but I think it's because this blue violet was too blue. But this violet seems too red. So anyway, there are degrees to which you can get perfect, and then you have to really remember that you are not a machine. And if you were a machine, we would be doing a different kind of learning. So this is going to be my blue, and then I'm going to start from the weaker. This, and by weak I just mean light and contaminates much more easily. Am I going to do that? No, I'm going to keep going this way because it makes more sense. So from blue-green, I want to go halfway between green and blue-green. And so I am going to just take some of this. We've got a green that's a little bit more blue and a green that's a little bit more yellow. So I'm going to take this and go here. That's a pretty good little bit of, I'm going to take a little bit of this blue and a little bit of that blue. And I want a blue that is not green. I want a blue-green that is not blue and not too green, but is kind of exactly in the middle. Let's take some of this. Maybe if I put it over here. Yeah, I think that's it. That's what I want. Just look for it visually. And this is about practicing seeing the colors, and it'll help you practice mixing the colors as well. Okay? So we've got this blue-green, and then we're going to go to green. And our green, this one is pretty good for green. So I've got, traditionally you use warm colors, a warm color bucket and a cool color bucket, but I have a dirty water bucket right now so that at the end I can have a nice clean yellow-green. So here I'm going to take a little bit of this green and a little bit of this green, and green is equal strengths. That's pretty good. Equal strengths. I say equal strengths so that we don't think equal amounts, because blue is a very strong pigment, and green is, yellow is not. Okay, so I'm going to use this for my green. And I'm on a piece of sketch paper. So it is not, it's pretty, if you mess around with it too much, it's going to leak through. Okay, so that's my green. And then I want to have a nice, so I rinsed off in the dirty water, and now I'm rinsing off in the clean water. And then I'm going to take some yellow and I'm going to mix it here, and I'm just going to mix in a little bit of green until it feels right, as though it is equal parts green and yellow. I'm going to use that. Okay. So this is your color wheel, okay? And that is where we will stop this video.